Here I am in a different section of my house. Lord love a duck. Okay, I'm going to read from decks of cards that I'm not familiar with at all. So, interesting. I think I knocked it 3 times in 3, and normally it's 4. Simulate said 4 and then 3, but 3 and 4 would make 7. So either way, let's see what comes forward. Now, as I feel a little dagger at my neck, I'm like, Archangel Michael, please and thank you. May you assist. At the same time, Elmara, bring in your golden seal and ointment if you can, please and thank you. And so this is a deck of cards from Alexandra Winman, which is interesting. It's very similar, close to my maiden name. And so, oh, pardon me. No, that's a power animal deck. No, this is a different one. Forgive me. I'm not even sure who, I do love Zachiel though, whose deck of cards this is. Either way, forgive me, forgive me, forgive me. Maybe they're Kyle Gray's, or they could be someone else's. Forgive me. I know I have the Keeper of Light, but I'm using it right now in a power grid. And so I can't touch it because then it wouldn't be fair. And even though I've done that before in Divine Masters, so thinking of different beautiful artists, it's like, wow. And the artwork was by Jennifer Halkard? Forgive me. You can see it there. I don't have my glasses on. Either way, the art is amazing. And then this one, it's by Lily Moss. It's beautiful. And so, I don't know. Either way, we're gonna use this deck of cards. And then I just did 2 and 3. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna just call in my guides. Blessed be. There's certain ones. As I'm a pillar of light, the light I am. There's a council actually that was activated just before I came on. I left a message for my sister because I'm so proud of her. She created a song and it's right straight from the heart. And I'm like, oh, I love that. But sometimes I'll do that and I'll send it out to the universe, and whoever captures it does and works with it. Okay, I do have my lunettes. I have my glasses. Okay. Tap Zach Kill. Forgive me if I get the names wrong. Okay, so I know nothing about these angels, to say the least. And so I don't even have the book for them. I don't know what happened. But there is, as I see, there you go. There is a beautiful doorkeeper for you. If you're needing one at this time, call on that doorkeeper. And so that within the divine, you feel protected, you feel safe, you feel secure, to say the least. And that's what I'm getting, especially as you can see from the bee being quite busy, which means this is the year of 2026. Action is taking place, and there are a lot of people that are creating. And so they need that door closed. So that way, because there's so many spirits that come and they want to be a part of that creation and guidance and help you along the way. And so know that to be true as well. And then as you can see, it's almost like the evil eye, but just remember, and as I have one on my finger here, remember that's a source of protection as well. And so I know some people have been taught very differently about the evil eye. Like, I know I went to a class where they were talking about, oh my hair's all matted to say the least. But anyway, protection, right? And giving some of the evil eyes so that they, would kind of leave you alone. But at the same time, I think it's misrepresented. I really do. And so as I see this angel, that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing that, and I even see Isis the cat right there as well. So that can be almost like your inner guides, right? There's your auric field, and then there's your astral body. And so within the field of what is within your body, here is Isis. Isis is known as a cat as well, from when you think of Egypt, amongst all else. So so this angel is there as a doorkeeper that's there to help you get busy on track in your path, and being of service in the way that you're meant to. And so, and not only that, as you can see, it's pretty cool because it's like the lights are in behind for the ancestral family. Now, don't get me wrong. You may own this deck, you might look it up, and you may get a totally different definition. Just know with an ebb and flow of what is, as things transcend, evolve, like dimensions and different things like that, you may get a totally different interpretation. It's like a crystal. You can have a crystal, and then all of a sudden you go, okay, I have a rose quartz. That is love. I know rose quartz as love, but for some other people, it can mean so much more or less, depending on the person and how they're learning and how they're moving forward. So again, just to recap, here you go. Here's an angel that can help with being a doorkeeper. And what I mean by that is there are people that are psychic, that are mediums, that are channelers, and sometimes they need that door closed in order to get some peace, to get, being the sovereign beings that they are, so they can create. And they have certain guides that come in, like Isis is right there, and the ancestral, and then the busy bee and creation and moving forward. And so, and it can also be like a halls of learning, even though they're not white pillars, they're golden pillars. And so there could be stuff going on too that maybe you just want time and peace, or you're like, doorkeeper, can you please close the door so I may just sit down and read without any interruption? And that's like for those of you that may feel like you have attention deficit disorder, and it's not really the case. I worked in mental health long enough to know that many of the gifted can end up with that label and not realizing that they're psychic and they have these abilities. And they're to be of service in a greater world, in the greater thing in the world of what is. And so we live in a society where there's programming, there's stigma amongst everything else. Now, I haven't been diagnosed with attention deficit disorder, but I can tell you there are times where there is distraction. I can be at the monastery and all of a sudden it's kind of like I'm listening to the monk, but also I'm hearing interruption, chatter coming in, disrupting me, where I'm missing pieces of the Dharma teachings. And then it's kind of like, "Urgh." So then even myself at home here upstairs, I have one of those little speakers that has all of these different sounds. So it can be white noise, it could be rain, it can be fire, it can be whatever. And it kind of helps with concentration and etching that out, that noise, that certain stuff that can really cause you havoc. Some people will turn on their TV, some people will do different things. Like I had my uncle, he used to do that. He would like literally, so he wouldn't be bound by spirit, he would like literally have noise on radios around him. And so for us that want the dial turned off or want some help, ask for the doorkeeper. And so blessings. And Tzapkiel, I believe is how you enunciate it. Now, just know androgynous. Yeah, there's no masculine, no feminine. You don't have to identify it. I mean, I saw a statue just the other day, and it was an angel with no face, with just a form. And so for us as human beings, and for me educating you on this topic, again, receive as you may. Your destiny, your choice. You don't have to take this verbatim. By the way, this lovely picture behind me, this is a spectacular picture. There was a Bantitisa that lives in Sri Lanka. And I remember volunteering at the monastery for the longest time, and I still attend there. And I just left that day and I was tired. I think I was cleaning up stuff in the back. And the shed or something of the sort. And I remember seeing all the dandelions and they were just like breathtaking. And I was like in my mind, I'm like, oh, I want to go to the back. Or I can't remember the exact thoughts, but I remember saying, oh, I want to take a picture. I want to take a picture of the stupa and the dandelions, because I have a collection of the stupa, which is basically that right up there. And what it is the relic, which means the cremation of the bones, the hair, different things get spread out all over the world within stupas, and to pay homage and respect. And you can feel that energy when you walk around it. And so I remember wanting to take this exact picture. And the next day I came back and the longless mode, and I was so upset, but I was ready to release the attachment to it. Well, wouldn't you know, I end up getting a pictures that were gifted to me by the Bante, and I cried and I cried and I cried when I seen it. I was just so taken back by the fact that he picked up that subliminal message and knew it. It was like, whoa. Again, though, I've been around the stupa and certain things and synchronicity that have happened also with the monastery monks, and I'm grateful for it. And so he lives in a whole different part of the world, but I know he's doing his work in a special way, and I know that I had channeled messages for him before. And anyway, either way, I'm elated and blessed to have this picture that I took copies of it, got it printed off, then gifted so that they can spread it amongst the other monasteries. And so I still want to take a picture of him that I have of him, a beautiful one, get it printed off, possibly with this, not to single him out by any means, being the photographer that he is, but he took something spectacular that warms my heart and that I have in my home. So I just wanted to share that. And so if you're into art at all, like spread the joy. This is interesting. I didn't know I had this card in here, and it's just popping out. Our Lady of oh, forgive me. I think she's known, isn't she known in Mexico? It says, Mystical Rose, make intercessions for Holy Church, protect the sovereign Puffington. I can't even enunciate this stuff, forgive me. Help all those who invoke thee in the necessities, and since thou art the ever Virgin Mary, and Mother of true God. Okay, so I see her as a Lady of Mercy, so it's a little bit different. Obtain for us from the most holy Son the grace of keeping our faith, sweet hope in the midst of the bitterness of life, burning charity, and the precious gift of the final, I can't even read. Perseverance, amen. So it's a prayer, but either way, just so you know, I remember when I was in Cuba and I saw the Mother Mary statue, and I've seen something similar, but in a different way, of course, but the energy that evoked out of it, and it's saying 500, so I don't know if you have to say this prayer 500 times, if it could resonate with you and it's coming forward. Lo and behold, I have no idea why. I know that when I was in Sedona, I was guided by Ascending Master Jesus. I kid you not. I picked 33 of them. I didn't know at the time. I picked a bunch. I paid for them. And then when I counted them, I'm like, oh, 33. There you go. Jesus Christ, 33. And so that's a number for me to resonate with. Ascending Master Jesus Christ, Lord Sanada, Yeshua, Joshua, however you want to resonate with him is okay with me. And so, okay, let's see what other one's coming forward. And forgive me, I don't know who made this deck. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Being a psychic medium, sometimes it's best not to know. Okay. This deck is so, now that I realize I had this deck for a long, long time. It's one of the few that I have kept. And so this is interesting. Jedodio. Okay, I can't enunciate these, so somehow I'm going to have to study these more and get to know how to enunciate them. But, you know, at the same time, no buts. It's just, it speaks volumes. I see almost, you know, it reminds me of the Shekare for protection. And he is a protector, as you can see. He's a warrior, but he also, no buts. I got to get those buts out of my communication. Either way, he's a warrior, and he's a warrior of peace. He doesn't have to be the warrior in what you think, to say the least. And so you can see that there's the lizard. It's, you know, sometimes you have to adjust and adapt in your surroundings. You may have to sit in the stillness of what is, while maybe somebody else is going through turmoil at this time. Pardon me. I'm catching my breath. As someone is going through turmoil at this time, this is okay. You can be there in stillness of what is. And so continue to be so. And as you can see, this is beautiful. You can see that it's like the gods. And you can see, isn't that Mount Rushmore? Or like when you think of the faces, and then the dove. and you think of the dove, and I was just talking about ascending master Jesus and so forth. So being of peace, following virtues, being there with love and kindness in a unique way. So never let a picture deceive you as to what it is that you really see, because as you see, you can also see, look at the passionate heart amongst thee that is showing himself as a warrior, but at the same time this warrior of peace, as you can tell, the dove, and amongst everything else. So when you get cards, unless you don't have the book with them, sit with it and see what it is that resonates with you. You know, because sometimes with the chaos, things can diminish. You can be in a situation, it can be very chaotic, and then all of a sudden it starts to slowly diminish and dissipate to a point where it becomes no more, and then it brings peace in what is. It's not always the case, but in this case, for this card at this time, it seems to be so. Now, this is interesting because sitting to my left of me, I have a little coin, and it's a beautiful coin, and as you can see, it's Archangel Raphael of the East. And so I was guided to this unbeknownst to me until now, and I have to reset it. And so either way, and then you got Archangel Michael, and of course I got Archangel Gabriel and Archangel Uriel. So Archangel Michael is to the south. So if you want, you can picture it this way, as an angelical presence that surrounds you. So you got what we call a gatekeeper that's present for you. You can also think to the left of you, which you can picture yourself going east, no matter where you go. And that's Archangel Raphael. And he has a whole team of angels that is with him. Now, it's so funny because I'm learning to love myself and not bear judgment on me because I look like shit. So erase that, to say the least. So Archangel, as we say here, Archangel Michael, he's like, oh my, that blue sword, Tina. We're going to end up untethering, unplugging, cutting, doing whatever necessary so you can really know how to love yourself unconditionally in a successful way, to say the least. And so he always has your back. Angel Gabriel. Oh my gosh. When I think of Angel Gabriel, I'm thinking some would say in integrated energy therapy, you know, I have my master instructors for many years now, and here I am going, you know, here's my third eye, and expansive, wise mind, let's get past this. Wasn't it enough, Tina? You caught your hair on fire at the stupa, and you survived the circumstances in vain, amongst other things. Look at that, you survived your hair catching on fire and dissipating so quickly the second time around. So it's comical when you go through past life regressions as well, and then somebody tells you, oh yeah, you've lived the life as a witch at least 6 times. I'm like, okay, very well then. So I'm just going to follow through with Archangel Uriel, who unfolds and helps you on your path. And he's of the north, and he leads you forward, so no matter what. So if you picture them around you, and then as above, Metatron, Archangel Sandalphon below, a whole team within your heart that's expansive within, that surrounds you now. And then the beautiful part of it is you can picture those as kind of like, some people, you know, picture yourself that there's this circumference that surrounds you, and they're on the inner guidance of you, and they're there with you within your heart as your heart is expansive. Like somebody had told me, Tina, you've got a heart of gold. It's so expansive. And as another person said, oh, your heart is gold. It's like the Care Bear that's shining outwardly. Oh, there are times it's not the case, to say the least. And so either way, if there are times like that, and you know you have to kind of stop, take a step back, observe and process what may be coming out of your mouth is a way of like laser tongue or anything else. It could be spirits that are around you that you're processing, and you're like, whoa, wait a second, that's not me, that's not myself. Why am I saying such a thing? Why am I thinking that way? Okay, association is huge. So who you surround yourself with, I'm not saying abandon people, have nothing to do with them because they may be going through the dark night of the soul. No, there's doors of opportunity that open. You can still call in your guides and here your doorkeeper to keep you safe while they're in the turmoil of what is. And you can be the light, the radiant light, the intensified light that shines, that helps bring them out of the murky water and show them the lotus flower that they are. Trust me in this. I know. I guess what has happened is I've been in those situations where I know what it's like to have everything taken away from me, even my clothes. I'm talking everything, where you feel in a place where it's like, oh my, even at a point where Dr. Dreyer, when he was alive, I felt him as a presence in a way I can't deny, with Happiness is the Way in his book. And not only that, his magical work that he's doing now from the other side, which is really cool to say the least. So remember, if you've had a loved one that has died, know that they're still there as a guidance. Now keep in mind though, not that I believe in diversity, I believe in expansion, I believe in equanimity, I believe in so many things, but there are those in our lives that pass away, and they may be a lower vibration because they haven't done the work yet, they haven't crossed over. They're like, oh wait a second, that person hasn't had a life review yet. That person is denying themselves of an opportunity where they don't really have to experience the things that they are being earthbound, and they can cross over and they can get the rest they so deserve, and they can create and they can do such magical things. What happens is they become earthbound, and it's like Archangel Raphael says, don't bear judgment upon those, because sometimes they don't even know what it is they're doing. And so even though some believe they're greeted by an angel, they're greeted by a presence before they cross over. Is it a test? I don't know. I don't have the recollection, I can't even say it. I can't recall that, to say the least. And so just know that there's guidance. There's always guidance. It's all about the experience. That's what I look at, because I know I've gone through so much that I just, in order to survive what I have survived, I have to be reminded it's all part of the experience. It's all part of the experience. It's shown me how to persevere. It's shown me how I am love. It's showing me so much more than I could ever imagine. Even that may have karmic debt, to say the least. Every day, even in this life experience, the soulful imprinting that's being bared upon us from our experiences, and how we deal with it. How do we move forward? How do we not allow it to attach to us? And what I mean by that is those that you're there to help, and they may latch on to you, and they may figure that, oh, because trust me, there is black magic, there is stuff where people get entrapped in trickery, especially if they're going through major pain and suffering, and it makes them feel better, and then they don't realize, oh, wait a second, I could be really hurting someone else in the process. But it's not necessarily always the case, okay? So don't be alarmed if you're experiencing something of the sort. I've talked about it before, where there are spirits that can die, and then they come around you, and the next thing you know, they're doing a walk-in. Now, I've been thankful that I've had experience with Ascending Master Jesus, who's known as Yahshua at the time. I referred to him as Lord Sanada, since taken some different courses of the sort. I won't go into it because it's not a promo video. And so I mentioned integrated energy therapy, but either way, I end up that I found that processing like the different names of these guides, they're one of these essences as a collective. So it's almost like saying, guess what? Master Jesus is seen by so many names. Does that mean he's personality disordered because he's lived all these different lives and now he goes around and he helps in a beautiful way? No, of course not. And so I don't know why that's coming up. I guess because so many people get wrongly diagnosed with that diagnosis. I remember one girl meeting her and I thought, oh, she's so friggin' doomed. And in my thought forms, that's not the greatest thing to think when you know that here's a psychologist that has a child and they're diagnosed with personality disorder. Meanwhile, this child is the most talented, artistic, creative person who can channel through her drawings. So she can draw, and it's like a spirit comes in, and it's like being a conduit and being someone who's able to transcend something onto paper. It's like automatic writing. It's like, and so some of us, even though they say they remove the stigma on these people and they're gifted, but these things, well, guess what? I think awareness, and there are star people, star seeds, however you want to refer to it as, standing there strong and saying no more. Like, you get people that are on videos and they're talking about being possessed, and they're being diagnosed with mental health labels. And again, that's about controlling human mankind. Don't get me wrong. Spirit has shown me there are people that are sick, and usually the ones that are sick are the most vulnerable because the influence of drug and alcohol. It really can get them. And even those that don't have drug and alcohol, spirit can still get them. Trust me when I say that. You can be in a state of sadness. I don't want to label it as depression, but you can feel lonely, for example, and you become so vulnerable. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart, where you can get entrapped, and then you have spirit doing trickery stuff, and then they're apologizing as they're transcending and over into the light. And so, and then people having these experiences, and then they, end up growing and learning from the other side how they had an impact on other human beings living a life experience. And so it's, I still think that people experience as they may, the pain and suffering as it is. Now, isn't this beautiful? Oh my gosh. That's like love and kindness all over the place. And so, Zacchaeus, when I look at Zacchaeus, of course, I see a monastery monk. But you can also see a priest. You can also see many things. I see the love and kindness, right? You can see time. Now, this is the other thing, too. There's celebration here. Oh, my gosh, this is so beautiful. I'm so drawn to this one. And especially with Buddhism, right? And so I would have to sit with this one for a little bit to really see. I don't know why, but I for me in 2026, today being February 23rd, okay? So I was looking at it, I was going, okay, today is the second month, the 23rd day, so 2-3, and 2 is 2-5, and then 2026 is 1. And I was just like, okay, that's 26, which is 8 is unity. And then I think of the monks right now, and this is just my impression. This is not channeling. This is now me coming forward with an impression from this card and how I can relate. I think about the monks who walked across parts of the USA as peacekeepers, bringing peace in a time of torn, stricken stuff that's going on. Like, we're talking genocides, we're talking about crime, we're talking about those that have ill regard, ill intent, that aren't following any preceptors, that don't care about their virtues. Now, in all fairness, and you can see the winter in the background, and appreciating the seasons. I know that some people are not them in themselves. They are puppeteered. They can be put in leadership roles, and they may not even remember, or they may say something or do something, and it's like, okay, that sounds brilliant, that sounds amazing, but that wasn't me, that wasn't myself. There's something, I don't quite know what's going on. That is people being puppeteered. It can go the opposite too, where people sound like complete idiots. There can be things that they have done, and now they can't hide, they can't brush it under the carpet anymore, and it's being exposed. So during these times of crisis, there's still peace. Like, I think of those like Thich Nhat Hanh and of Vietnam, and how he stood for peace. And we're talking about peacekeepers. And so here is a peacekeeper that's showing you that there is love and kindness in the turmoil of things. There's peace, there's love, there's kindness. There are those that have compassion, unbelievable compassion, that are in the role that they're meant to be. And I don't even care to use the word role, because it sounds like we're all in a play, and some people say it's all illusion, and then there's others that say, no, there's roles, there are things unfold in order for us to experience as it may and what it is. So this is beautiful. And so to celebrate what is, and then of course, oh my gosh, as you can see, there is, I thought it was a lion, but no, it's a tiger. And so it's kind of funny, because somebody from high school recently passed away, and it's the Tiger Cats. Either way, that's what's coming forward for this. And then there's, I see it as a door. So there's a beautiful door of opportunities. To always remember, when there's one door that closes, another opens. And then there's like a journey, a path, right there, that's in the back. And so when you look at cards, let them resonate with you the way they resonate with you. You can call upon this angel, just like I'm supposed to place this. Okay, so just so you know, this is really unusual and I don't know why, but the doorkeeper card, that's what I'm calling it, blessings of this angel, is there with Archangel Raphael at this time. And maybe it has something to do with earthbound spirits. I'm not sure. Archangel Michael, right? And a peace warrior that is. This one here is going with Archangel Gabriel, and it's possible there's something to do with, again, these angels I mentioned. They don't work alone. They work in unity with one another. So it's possible that there are monks like Thich Nhat Hanh that spoke of, the Dharma teachings and love and kindness and self-awareness. And he also did some psychology with his work when he was moving forward with all that was, when he was living a life experience. I even know that I had a visitation from him when he crossed, or before he crossed, and he was there with Ukraine and Russia, getting people into the light as quick as possible, because people were, at that time that he passed, there was a bloodbath with those of Ukraine and Russia. And so he was like, doing his work as an earthbound spirit, going around and helping and being aware of what was going on, and being the traveler that he was. He could time jump, he could do all these things, which is pretty miraculous to say the least. And so I can't even, when was that? I know the Ukraine and Russia, the real time was like 2014, but Thich Nhat Hanh was still a human being at the time. It sounds strange, but he's one of the same as Nietzsche. And people are like, how is that possible? Well, if you believe in parallel lives or not, past lives, however you want to see it. Can you imagine being a monk and you have a soul, but then there's a divine connection, almost like a twin? And there you are living a life, and then you know that you're also Nietzsche, connected to the same soul source, and you're one of the same. And now you're the monk doing your work, but you're also doing extra work. And so is Nietzsche. And so it would be like Thich Nhat Hanh would have the clear knowing of things of Nietzsche, and Nietzsche would have the clear knowing of Thich Nhat Hanh. And so it's kind of like we have freedom of choice. And so anyway, I'm going to leave that with you without getting into the particular details. It's fascinating, though. And so I'll rearrange that card shortly. And let me just, that one almost jumped out. So is that the one? I'm getting no, but let's just do it again. It might be the same one that comes forward. Okay. Oh, okay. So Angel Ariel, this is Camille. And so Camille and Archangel Ariel would obviously work together, these archangels. And so when you see it, oh my gosh, as you can see, you see the eagle of love. I mean, you see, it's like a red-crossed robin, a bird. You can see the horse. Now, don't forget, we are the year of the horse. And as I was saying, moving forward in Archangel Uriel, he is helping us pave the path, okay? It's like you're on this yellow brick road and you see all this glitter around you, and you still have the choice to make what it is you want to make, how you want to create, and moving forward with your life. I mean, how spectacular is this? This is a beautiful warrior at the same time of peace. And you see the wolf? I'm like, this is the year of the horse, okay? And people talk about the year of the horse and the red horse, okay? And see the color of that horse? That's a red horse. And so I mean, there's no coincidences in anything. Even though I have a white horse as the Pegasus horse, and I'm like, okay, I'm going on my own path. It's the Pegasus horse that I'm going to be with. It's going to be flying above the water, not in the water or surfing the water. But then again, I'm a unique sea, and so here I am. It's just like me. Instead of going, I go with the ebb and flow of things, but at the same time, the universe may educate on similarities of certain things. I'm like, I'm not a lone wolf. I'm a single wolf, but there's a wolf. There you go. There's meanings surrounding all of these beautiful, beautiful animals, as you can see. I mean, there's the totem animals, but there's also the shamanism, okay? And so if ever you're needing help, even though Archangel Uriel is leading forward, it's like the shamanism that's there for you. So you may go places where you're nervous and you're anticipating problems that haven't occurred yet. You can turn around and say, shamanism guide, I'm calling you here to help guide me right now, please. You might even hear a beautiful earthly angel of an animal that comes out of you and that roars, and you're like, holy, did I just hear that? Okay, I know my shamanism guide is at work. Now, don't get me wrong. I've taken 2 different levels of shamanism, and I still don't feel like I know enough about shamanism, to say the least, because it's such a wealth of information. And even though we've lived many, many lives, there's the soulful imprinting, and even just taking the course, 2-level course for me, is just kind of opening the door just a little bit, if you know what I mean. It's not bringing it wide open where you're like, so I call him my shamanism guide. I really do, when it comes to certain things, because I'll tell you, it's really important to do so at times. And most people just live their life and they're in denial, and they have no idea that these beautiful guides are readily available for us. We just have to ask. We just have to ask. And so this, as you can see, it's like embracing. It's like embracing life. It's like taking it in. Look at the beautiful wings. Again, the red, right? And the year of the horse. I mean, it couldn't be more true. So Angel Camille, and this is interesting because when I look at the numbers of these cards, this is number 7. So for me, 7 is a huge number. For Buddhism, when I think of the 7 enlightened lives of Buddha, I'm also querying though if he's living a life right now, but that's just me. At the same time though, he, just like Ascending Master Jesus, most people wouldn't believe it. Like some people are like, oh my God, am I the Messiah? Am I Jesus Christ? Like, because they get such awakening experiences where Jesus Christ rises up in them, that they're not them in themselves, and they know it's Jesus, because let's say the devil, Mara, whatever the case, they felt like something came down on them, that they couldn't move, they were paralyzed, or something happened, a big miracle, and they're like, okay, I see Jesus as an angelical being. And so awakens you to the awakening, and you're like, holy shit, I can't even tell anybody about this because they think I was nuts. And so some people, may experience it so strongly. Like I know the presence of Buddha and how I resonate with that, because I know of past lives and my interconnection with him. And so that's what's beautiful. We live a life, but don't get me wrong. Don't get lost in all that. Be who you are meant to be. It's like I sometimes say I'm a rose, the color of a rose. That would be me, Tina Marie. But how many lives do I live by the name of Rose, right? It's an essence of me. And so I'm just looking at these numbers. And so I love to add up numbers when it comes to these cards. And so we got 34, 39, 59, 68. So then we got 8 and 6 is 14, 4 and 1 is 5. So if the number 5, and you can resonate with the number 5, it may be that this is your life plan, number 5. Just know this is a loud call out to you with these cards that I'm sharing with you. A very loud shout out. You could be going through some stuff right now. See the light you are, no matter what. It could be one of various things. I don't want to resonate with somebody I already know that can resonate with that number. So I'm just going to leave it at that and leave that with you. And so I'm going to put those with the angels, because this is just giving you an idea again of how when you think of the 4 angels and how, how they surround you. And so we can all resonate with these certain angels, but just know that they have a team of other angels. So Archangel Raphael, you can call him as your gatekeeper, because I'll tell you, Archangel Raphael is amazing with dealing with earthbound spirits, has compassion amongst other things, is a healer in his own rights. Now, this is what's interesting is in some faiths, Archangel Raphael is known as the healer, as he is, and that beautiful green light, like it's like an emerald color green. And so, it's interesting because the bees in this picture of this beautiful angel are green. And so bees are not normally green, to say the least. So it's kind of interesting how that all connects in a divine way. So there's different things, that can pop out. And so I don't know why, but I feel like I'm doing as above, so below within with Archangel Metatron and Archangel Sandalphon. So this will be interesting. And normally, whoa, okay. Those 2 just jumped out of my hand. I kid you not. One's above, one's below. So that's how I'm going to go with it. I'm not even going to look at it yet. Okay. This is above, this is below, and it's upside down. Wouldn't you know? Okay, so, both of them were, okay, interesting. So, isn't this interesting? Number 13, 3 and 1 is 4, which is an angelical number, and I love number 13, by the way. In North America, they say it's an unlucky number. I think it's an amazing number worldwide. And so, when you look at 13 that way, add it up as 4. Now, there are some cultures that see the number 4 as the word death, as a bad luck number, especially in multiple numbers. It's not necessarily true. It's your faith, your belief, what's been imprinted on you in moving forward in life. And as you become more worldly experienced, you see that, and you see how things intertwine, like the number 4 and the 13, and how it can be bad luck. Doesn't necessarily have to be. Like number 6 for me is kind of a bad luck number, and it's not because of Satan, because I know somebody that's a beautiful human being that has 666 as his address on his home, and he couldn't be more grateful. And so again, superstition. But you know what I love about this is, like, look at the cherubs. So this is Metatron. This is a member of Metatron's team, okay? Ragiel, forgive me. So, it's interesting because to new heights, like, look at the feather. Oh my gosh, just think of the indigenous people and the honor to receive a feather. Even when I think of Ascending Master White Eagle and the beautiful, he has an eagle feather. This is a little bit of this is a quail. This is a little bit different. Maybe this is a sign to do some automatic rating and connect with, with your guides. And so, and of course the journal there, amongst other things, and connecting with your creative self and artistry. Because as I was mentioning about that girl earlier, and her mother being a psychologist and her being diagnosed, and meanwhile, the artistic impression is coming forward. And some of the most amazing artists of our time have had some kind of attachment to them of a diagnosis, which is really sad, to say the least, instead of being seen for who they are. And so, but again, that's the stigma I have. I get very upset because I'm just like, I don't like people being labeled, especially children. And there's been doctors that have been on this planet that when children were young, they would create to help kids. Like, let's say they were certain things have happened to them in their childhood, and they knew that it was trauma related, and they just didn't want they didn't want a diagnosis attached to that child, because they didn't want them to be labeled at such a young age and have that attached to them their whole lifetime. Instead, people can persevere, people can overcome, people can be on the mend, and they can actually heal themselves from their own trauma and their experiences by utilizing the services that are provided for them, even if it came down to drawing and being the channeler that they are, and it brings them peace and joy and tranquility and allows them to be themselves, even if there's a guy that's transmitting, like Metatron coming through as Christ consciousness and helping along with the cherubs. So just know that this is really interesting how, there's a guide of mine that I think of as well, that I think of when I see this and I go, bravo, to say the least. We all have a guide that looks, very inquisitive and very, sharp, to say the least. And so that's for you to enjoy. And so that's as above. Now, and now we're talking about the number 13. And didn't we add that up earlier and say it was 13 and then 3 and is 4? See how that correlates and how the synchronicity of things and how they unfold? So pay attention to that in your world. And so as you create and you see things, allow it to bring validation for you, because you are your creation. And so whenever you do something and you start to doubt yourself, remind yourself, oh, look at that, there's a sign. Like, I'm a big license plate reader, and I will look at license plates, and I'll look at one, I'll look at another, and I'm like, okay, I'm in the divine place where I'm supposed to be at this time. I'm getting redirected because really I'm not on time right now. And then I see something on the license plate, I'm like, oh, yep, this is meant to be. There's a reason why this is preventing me from an accident, whatever the case may be. And so, this adds up to 5. We were talking earlier about the number 5. So maybe that's where I'm getting the correlation mixed up. There is a 4 in synchronicity here, but there's also a 5. And so Brachiel, oh my gosh, Angel Brachiel. You see, I see Angel Brachiel as different than what I'm seeing in this picture, but I do see more Archangel Sandalphon being a crystalline grid within the Earth's surface. I mean, here's creation. Here is a beautiful basket of bread for creation and being grateful for that. And, there's the baby, part of creation as well. And it's interesting how it just shows different parts of the world, how they can be divinely connected. I see the roses. So you can think of Mary Magdalene. You can think of Mother Mary. You can think of Kuan Yin, even though it, with the rose, there's still that part, which is expansive. And so, some of these guides and these beings, to say the least, are all intertwined in one way or another, especially when you see like the little houses there. It's kind of like, let's take a visit to China, but also let's take a visit to Rome, let's take a visit here to this could be in Mexico where the ruins are, or it could be in Egypt. And that's the divine connection in all that is, moving forward with Archangel Sandalphon. You could be traveling all over and be a part of it. And the essence of you could have lived all these lives, to say the least. You may be a mother, or you may be one that supports a child that, let's say, is an orphan, and it just shows how no matter what, you can be swaddled, is that the right word, by an angel. You can feel comfort of an angel. I don't know if you've ever felt it, but you feel like something comes in and just swaddles you, like you're in a blanket. And I feel this beautiful air around me right now. And so, when I think of Archangel Sandalphon, there's many things. I think of music. I think of just the grace and gratitude of life. And it wouldn't be the same without Archangel Sandalphon. And, of course, Brachiel being a part of that divine team. And so I guess the message here is, no matter what angels you resonate with, they all intertwine with one another. They really do. And so I don't know why, but I feel like there is something calling me to add all of these up. But even though, like this number, for example, these 2 cards is like 9, and I can resonate with 9. If you can too, bravo, to say the least. But even as I look at the numbers, again, I'm going to add these up. So we got 2, we got 32, that's 34. And then 50, 64, 9 is 73, and then 80, 94, 104, 107. So imagine adding all that up. So we got 107. So it's 7 and 1 is 8 in unity. In unity, in a beautiful way, in unity, you know, in a Christ conscious way. This is consciousness. Okay, when you think of like different, oh, why can't I think of it right now, Buddha? Either way, consciousness, being aware that we are responsible for everything we do, everything we say. I was taught by a once ordained monk to, you know, be really consciously aware of what you say. And it goes back to no ill regard, no intent. Even though we may have this soulful imprinting of us, of remembrance of certain things, and then we're like, our guard goes up and we're like, nope, no thank you, no thank you. No matter what, I cannot do this, no thank you. And so just know that this is a year of 2026 and bringing unity into oneness of what is. And in a homecoming way, it just is, whether you want it to be or not. And you can ride the wave or not. It's up to you. You can be stagnant in pain and suffering or not. It's up to you. And so it's all a journey. It's all an experience. So I'm going to leave you with that. I'm going to stop this. And may you be well, may you be happy, may you be free of anger, may you be free of ill will, may you be free of jealousy, may you be free of mental suffering, may you be free of physical suffering, may you live in peace, may you live happily. And you can do the same thing in the love and kindness for yourself by just saying, may I be. And then you can say the same thing so you can feel that lighthearted release that no longer serves you. Stay well, be happy.